to know is it might block you because Zoom does this weird thing. I would love for you to pull it up. But Corey, are you recording this on your end as well? I know you have all those
No,
gadgets. I
no.
was gonna
This is
say,
all you. I'm letting you do what you do.
okay, because Zoom has this weird thing that when you do pull up some videos, it blocks you completely, but I still have a way of internalizing it on my database. But I want to have this interview for a long time. You know what? Play the video. Play the damn video and see what
Let me see if
happens.
I can find it. So you go ahead and talk for a second while I try and pull it up.
All right. So, guys, if you're back with us, first of all, thank you so much for watching. Please share this again with all of the viewers that are out there, all of your friends. I want to shout out again Judith Narain from Brooklyn, Miss Darlene Armstead from Harlem, the beautiful city of Harlem, as well as everybody that's tuning in tonight. Mama Brenda Dark from the National Action Network. We have so many great people watching. Terrence Floyd from Brooklyn, who's also known as George Floyd's baby brother. We have so many great people that are inspired by this interview so far. And I'm happy that our brother is about to look for that video and play it simultaneously. Tall Boy is sharing his life and something that occurred, to him. And the reason why it's so imperative for us to try to pull up this video and share it and things of that nature is because Tall Boy could have given up years ago after this major debacle took place, but he never gave up. He never quit on his dreams. Matter of fact, he kept going no matter what. Right, Tall Boy?
That's right.
That's right. And
It
he's so
says, it says
nonchalant.
you disabled screen sharing.
Oh no, I did not. You know what? These people is bugging. Hold on. How do I share computer sound? Optimize. How do I share it with you so that you can jump in this thing?
I don't do Zoom. Let me see. Maybe I can just pull the link on YouTube,
Okay.
and then I'll just put it in the in the chat, and then you can click
There
the
you
link,
have
and then
it,
you can.
folks. And then I can do it that way because I know, oh, maybe because I'm recording as well, because I want to
There
be
you
able to
go. I
play
just
this.
put it there. And
Okay, hold on. Let's see
that's
what.
coming straight from YouTube. So
And YouTube sometimes blocks everything, but you know what?
there's
We're
no
gonna.
audio on there, so that might work.
There is audio.
No, there is. I mean, there's no like music being played in the background, so that might.
Got you. Maybe that's what it is. Sometimes people have the audio, music, and things like that. So, real quick, guys, thank you for joining in with Aniya A and Corey Tallboy Sanders. What I'm about to do is play that quick interview with the one and only Tallboy and Kanye West, which is where we left off moments ago in regards to the story that Tallboy was inspiring us with. And I want you guys to know something that you should never give up, irregardless. Welcome, Gary Durant. Welcome, everybody that's tuning in. Thank you guys for not leaving us as we're going through these technical difficulties. And I think this is it right here. Azriel was never at. No, no, no. Hold on. One second. Who is this? This is a totally different. Nope, totally different interview. Hold on. You see how the
What?
devil is a liar? Something totally, yes. So I got Darlene Armstead saying we're back. Yes, we are back, honey. Because you know what? We were never supposed to leave you all. So one second. Let me try it again on this platform. I already shared that picture, that infamous picture of myself and Kanye West for the people to see what you're referring to. And here we go.
Oh boy.
All right, one second. Let me share that screen. I'm hoping we're able to keep this interview for later. But this is the interview that Tallboy was referring to, and then you can share what happened after. Kanye West bosses up. Aniya A was the videographer.
Hey, it's the Tall Boy Experience. I'm hanging out with Kanye West right now, global icon. Hey, I just see you signed this new deal with Adidas. What does that mean to you, and how does it feel?
Man, it just feels good to be able to create more, create uh, product that I can control the pricing on, that I can do quality control on, and I feel very comfortable to have a great partner, backing my ideas and allowing me to think and be creative and giving me that shot. The same way how Dame gave me a record deal 10 years ago, gave me a shot, and I was able to do something creative with it. This is a new opportunity for me. I feel like I got a new family, fiance, child, and like I got a new creative outlet. And as a creative person, you need those different outlets. I'm still going to do music, but I really feel honored to, have had the chance to blow Yeezy up with Nike, and I really appreciate everything they did for me. And I'm not knocking them on the way out of burning no bridges. I apologize for my frustration earlier, and I just think it's time. It's go time. It's turn up time. And I just wanted to give y'all this interview right quick.
Woo! There you have it, folks.
Think big, think tall.
Think tall, boy. All right.
You're so funny.
I'm a nerd. Go ahead and tell us again, because for those that watched moments ago before we got shut down, when I was trying to share just a simple picture of myself and, Kanye that you definitely orchestrated. Tell us again that moment, that feeling that you had, anxiety, butterflies, etc., when it came to Kanye West and this interview.
I think it was a mix of it was a lot, because you got to think, I woke up that morning not knowing whether or not I should do it. I woke up saying it's not going to happen. You're feeling defeated before you even started. But then it's like, go put your pants on. He puts his pants on the same way that you put your pants on. The worst he can say is no. I think we're afraid of rejection. I think we're afraid of, maybe no may not be to no is not final. It may not be today, but you might be able to get it. And that is when I tell you, between Dougie Fresh and Rick Ross, how many times that I've been around them, chased them all over the respective cities that I was in, and they said no or not today. But then years later, it's like, let me go ahead and give this man a shot.
Yeah.
And it's like I think when you did get it, or when I did get it, it was like, I'm the ish, like, but it wasn't in a cocky ish. It was, God, thank you for this opportunity. You opened this door for me to make this happen. And now it's, you got it. Now, how do you deliver the content to where the world or the masses can see? Because I think if you looked at the count, I think it only 49,000 people saw it. Now, here's the backstory on that. As the week was progressing,
Right.
I got to share this with the people. And I'm asking my friends, could they help me share it? I didn't know anything about Facebook or Instagram. Well, actually, Instagram wasn't even out at that time.
No, it wasn't.
And if it was at its beginning stages. But I mean, I didn't know anything about Facebook marketing. I didn't know anything about YouTube marketing. I didn't know anything about AdSense. I didn't know anything about any of that stuff. So it was like, how do things go viral?
Right.
You just don't know. And you're asking your friends to share the video, and your friends are like, I don't like Kanye. Kanye's a ASS, and it's like, but it's not about Kanye. It's about you knowing somebody personally.
Yep.
And they just accomplished something. But your friends, for the ones that are watching, stop asking your friends to do something, because they're your friends, but they're not your business partners. They don't work for you. And I've had a struggle trying to do this. You have to find like-minded people that want to believe in supporting your dream, not your friends, because your friends are going to be like, yeah, you the homie, but they're not going to tell you the truth. They're
But
going to
wait,
tell you.
and then there's another aspect to that too, not to even cut you off, but I love what you're sharing, because a lot of times, and I hate to utilize this thought process, but people tend to be jealous of you and your gifts and talents. So that's another reason they're not going to be super supportive, or they're not going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, jump on a train, or like get in an Uber and meet you and say, okay, let's go.
Right. So with that being said, it's, find like-minded people. It's like, I love technology, but even though I want to share this tech with the world and tell everybody about all these cool products and how it will work for you, I know that my audience, even though I share it on my page, my friends don't really care. But then 5 years down the road, they're like, man, I need a charger. And I'm like, well, I told you about, company A, company B, company C. but you didn't want to hear it, and you could have got a free unit had you just listened to me.
Right.
Instead of you going to the store, I was willing to give you one if you would have just showed interest, but
Correct.
you didn't believe in what I was doing. So, now you're over there trying to find a plug somewhere, and I'm on the go. And I got my phone and I got this charger, and I can still keep on going, but you're still stuck because you can't move because you only got 5% left and your phone about to die. And the one thing that I learned, I don't watch TV as much anymore.
Right.
But I was watching Diddy's Making the Band.
Okay.
And somebody got fired because they were in charge of the bat phone or the hot phone, whatever the phone was called. And I took this lesson from this show, and he said, this phone makes money. And whoever was in charge of this phone did not charge the phone.
Wow.
And that could have been money that was left on the table because they didn't have their phone charged. And from that moment on, when I saw that, I said, never will I, never, ever, ever will I ever go somewhere without a charger or having some type of percentage on my phone. There's no excuse on why your phone is dead, because you just never know where your opportunity may come. And if somebody calls you and it goes to voicemail, they might be going down the list. So had Aniya A not answered her phone, I would have went down the list and got somebody else potentially, or I may not have gotten the interview, but she would have lost out on this opportunity that she had she not had her phone charged.
There you go.
So with that being said, I just say all that to say, that was a lesson that I learned. And, I just look at it from the standpoint with the emotions that were racing, I just got to get people to believe in me. And I couldn't get my friends to support. And then here I am going through my phone. Here I am I'm about to give up. And as I was going through my phone, I had met Russell Simmons at the Consumer Electronics Show, CES. For the ones, that's the abbreviated word, CES, but it's called the Consumer Electronics Show. And he gave me a cell phone number. And the funny thing about it is I was so excited that the man gave me his number that I never called him in the window of opportunity that I had. And I just shot the man a text message and just said, peace and blessings. I have some content that I think that you might be interested in. It's already posted to your Global Grind website. If you think or you see some value in it, feel free to share it. Now, the other guy didn't want to pay me for the video, and I wasn't just going to give it to the other major blog site that was out there. And I just gave it to Russell, and I just, I put it in God's hands and just said whatever. So when I showed up to work, that Thursday, I want to say, I think it only had like 1,100, maybe 1,200 views or something like that. I came back to work on Friday, and I think it jumped from like 1,200 to like maybe 3,000. And then when I came back from the assignment that I was on, I think it had jumped to like 5,000 to 7,000. I was like, and then my supervisor was like, tall boy, WGCI just picked it up. WBLS just picked it up.
Wow.
She said, Philly just picked it up. I was like, I got to go. I was like, I got to leave the radio station because I don't want no, mess with them, because you got to think this is the largest radio station in the Southeast.
Yep.
So, every other radio station has it, but the station that I work for, but they didn't believe in me. So it was like, oh, well, you didn't believe in me. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So that Saturday I had an event, and I saw all the corporate people come in town for this event that I had to cover. And remember, I'm working in the promotions department. So I'm trying to tell and show these people that this is what I want to do. They gave me an overnight slot where I was being an on-air talent, but they didn't believe in, grooming and showing me how it was like, hey, see what you're doing. We give you this slot just to shut you up. But here I am with all these innovative ideas, and they're crushing everything that I'm doing. So it's just like, I don't know what God has for me, but I'm just, okay, cool. It is what it is. I'm believing in myself, but it's only so much believing in yourself that you can do.
Right.
You need to see some doors open. You need to see some money come in. You need to see something. So I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, it's only so much believing in yourself that you're gonna do, and then after a while, you're gonna be like, God, do you not see me? What's going on?
Right.
So So after the event was over with, instead of going home, I was just sitting at the radio station just to kill time before my next event. And then all of a sudden, my phone just started dinging, and I didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden, Twitter was just blowing up, and I was just getting retweet after retweet after retweet after retweet, and it was like, what is going on? And I had no idea. So at that moment, Saturday afternoon, I was going viral. And I had no idea what viral looked like. I'd never seen viral. I didn't know what to do. That Monday morning, I get a phone call from the radio station. Now, remember, I told you about the President Clinton situation with the $20 and all of that. They give me a call and they say, hey, we see you got this great interview with Kanye. Why didn't you give it to us? And I said, the person that had called, I said, with such and such, I named off the person's name. I said, he told me to get my weight up. So I went to go get my weight up.
That's a fact.
I did not know that they had me on speakerphone, because when I gave them the response, the whole room bust out in laughter. So I'm like mad, because it's like, yo, you got me on speakerphone? Like, you didn't even tell me you had me on speakerphone. They were like, can you pull up? Can you come up to the radio station? So I'm like, yeah, I'll come up. We need to talk to you. I'm like, all right, cool. I come up and they're like, all right, this is what we want you to do. We want you to give us your content moving forward. We want you to post it on the website. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. But, I got a business partner. So do I get a raise? Am I going to get some extra remotes? Are y'all going to pay me? Like, how's that going to work out with, compensation wise? Because, I remember how y'all handled me with the President Clinton situation. Y'all ain't going to handle me a second time. Like, that ain't going to work. And it was like, nah, you just going to just do it just because we need you to do it. Nah, it don't work that way.
No, it don't.
And so at that point, that's where the rubber met the road. And we came to a point where it was, if you shoot any content on our properties, at our events, or use our vehicles to get there, is now considered a conflict of interest. And then that's where, you went from this very high moment to where now you're back discouraged again. And it's like, how do you keep going? What do you do? And then it's like, well, maybe this is not what God wants me to do. Maybe this is the end all be all. And I think that was in November, I want to say. I want to say it was like October or November when that whole sway you don't have the answers situation came up. I don't remember the month that it was, but I remember I just stopped shooting video altogether. And then I got a phone call from a good friend of mine, Mala Music. She's a R&B artist. And she was like, Tallboy, I got this event and I really need you to pull up on it. And I need you to cover this for me. And I was like, I'm not feeling it. Just Tallboy, just come through. And I did it. And then all of a sudden I did another event. And it was a Radio 1 event, but I just brought my camera anyway. And it was a very popular pastor here in Atlanta. He had something controversial that was going on. And I was in the room with him and he gave me the interview. So here's another exclusive. So it's like, oh, snap. Here's another opportunity.
Yep.
And you know what? The doors are just opening. And I just happened to be in the room and this guy just had a very controversial sermon and I'm the only one with a camera in the room and I'm getting this. So now the emotions are changing and it's like, what do you do? And then all of a sudden, I hear that Anthony Hamilton is in town. That's the big homie. That's like, big bro to me. So it's like, I got to pull up on my fam. So I show up and, he's going to stop and talk to me. So I started getting back in the groove of things. And it's like, okay, this might be the move. I don't know what happened, what's going to happen. And I was starting to feel back to normal again, because like I said, you're just going through a rage of emotions because they're telling you that you can't do something on their properties, at their events, use their vehicles to get there. So you got all this hate that's happening because you don't want to give up your content to them. But it's like, come on now, y'all already did me one time. I'm not going to let you do me a second time.
Right.
So, what do you do? And it's just business. And they just didn't respect me. They always just looked at me as, oh, you're the low man on the totem pole. You're just going to do what we tell you to do. And, I'm still a man at the end of the day. So I had to just respectfully, decline. Well, storms happened. Fortunately, a young lady that I was dating, we didn't work out. A couple days later, my mom had passed away. Then a week to the day of the funeral, I get into a car accident in the company vehicle. I mean, when I say storms were happening, it was like, what is happening? All of this is just happening all at once.
Back to back.
I mean, it's like, what do you do? But how do you keep going? And my thing was, I just kept going. I can't sit in this storm. I got to keep going. So here I am at the Consumer Electronics Show, and I need to be there. And it's, do you miss your mom's funeral, or do you find a way to work around it? Like, what do you do? And I found a way to go to CES, come back the day before the funeral. You're able to give our final, pay our final respects. And then all of a sudden the grind never stopped. So I never sat down. I just kept going. Everybody has their own way of healing. I was like, you know what? My mom never went anywhere. She never did things that she dreamed of doing. I'm going to live my life and I'm not going to stop. And you know what? I want to go to the Super Bowl. You know what? I want to go to All-Star Weekend. You know what? I want to go to South by Southwest. You know what? I want to go to TechCrunch Disrupt. You know what? I want to go to Final Four Weekend. I want to go to all these places that we dream of going. We say we want to go. I don't know how I'm going to go, but I'm going to go. Now, keep in mind, all this bad stuff happened. And then as I'm headed to the Super Bowl, I get a phone call from the company and they decided to part ways with me. So now I'm out of a job and I'm headed to the Super Bowl, going to get this content, and I ain't got no job. So now I got to just go harder than ever, because it's like, where are you going to make this money at? How are you going to make it? How are you going to pay these bills? What are you going to do? And I just kept going, and I just never stopped. I mean, it was like I didn't know what to do, and you just keep going, going, going. I was going like the Energizer Bunny, and it was like, I'm not letting no one job stop me. And, you're going through a rage of emotions because you love the job. You just lost your dream job. And I don't know what God has for me, but you know what? I'm constantly getting in front of all these people. I don't know what God has for me. And I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not none of that. But I'm a real dude. And I'm going to tell you what my intentions are. And I'm going to deliver on what I say my intentions are. And that's what I did. And I just kept going, going, and going, and going. And then as we fast forward to 2021, I mean, this is what I've been doing ever since. And it's like, I started all those relationships that I had back when I was an intern. Guess what? Those people elevated as well. All those people that I was meeting along my journey, they saw that I did good work. When I was talking about tech and talking about live streaming, people were laughing me out of the room back in 2012, 2013. I've been in live streaming since 2019. Guess what? 2020 hit in March or April of 2020. The whole world was over here live streaming, trying to figure out how to work Zoom, how to work Microsoft Teams, how to use OBS, how to use XSplit.
And you already knew everything.
So it's like, wow, like something that I believed in. Now everybody and their mama is over here trying to do it, but I've already been in this space, and it's like, hey, you know what? Instead of me trying to interview everybody, why don't you produce for folks? Why don't you give them a quality show? And so I started to make that pivot, not to say that I'm giving up the interviews, because I'm not going to do that, but there's days that you feel like you can't do it, but you know what? You just keep pushing. And so as you keep going, it's like, yeah, the Kanye interview was very instrumental. And it's funny because I no longer work for the company, but I heard that they put the tall boy rules in place.
I love it.
And so the tall boy rules, from my understanding, is before you sign a contract with the company, from my understanding, don't quote, I mean, this is what I was told. I may be wrong, but any content that you shoot on their property or at their events, you have to share with them. It's their property or whatever before you even sign the contract for all employees. That's the new rule. And it's like, wow, they didn't have that in place before I was there, but now that's the new rule. So it's funny because it's like, I get it from a business standpoint, but at the same token, this is valuable content right here that you're receiving tonight. And it's like, if I ever blow up, become a millionaire, you can be like, hey, I got the exclusive on Tall Boy. Nobody else has it. And if BET calls you, guess what? You got some content on Tall Boy and you can license it out. And guess what? You got it.
That's right.
So I look at all of that and I just, I tell people, whatever your dream is, remember, it started out with a guy saying, I'm gonna call you tall boy with Mountain Dew.
Mm.
And I walked away from basketball, and you find out who your family and friends are and how they stop supporting you. And because you're not doing what they want you to do. They
That's
wanted me to go to the NBA. I didn't want to go to the NBA. I just wanted to play ball overseas. So that's all I wanted to do. So I got my dream.
right.
But because I wasn't going to the NBA, they weren't happy with that. That's not my fault. But now they feel like they can't help me. I had to learn how to write resumes. I had to learn how to, network on my own before I could just pick up the phone and say, hey, Aniya, I need a job. And Aniya be like, oh, yeah, that's my friend Corey. That's my friend Tallboy. Give him a job. But now
Right.
I say I don't want to play ball. Now you start to find out who's really in your corner.
That's right.
Fast forward, I started saying I'm gonna plant this seed because I said I wanted to interview celebrities because Rashawn McDonald had told me to get out of the radio station. This is what I said I wanted to do. And if you go to my YouTube channel, there's over 730 something videos that's on my YouTube channel from 2012 to 2021. And then if you go to my first YouTube channel, the first 232 videos from 2009 to 2012 are sitting on YouTube. So it's like, wow, like you got all this behind the scenes footage of all these major events that you covered and you were at. And it's, guess what? I own that content.
That's right. And you
So
know what? Perfect segue into, because we're going to be shutting down in just a few moments.
understood.
Yes, sir. Tonight has been so inspirational. I have the people that are watching, that are commenting, that are loving everything you're saying. What is in the near future for Tallboy, for the Tallboy experience, for TBE Media, all of that jazz?
I don't know. I mean, I think live streaming is where I want to be. That's the space that I'm in. I'm in the tech space. Those are the major things. I really want to help small businesses out more so than celebrities. I think that's a calling that I have. I have an eye for a video camera, and I know how to tell your story.
Yeah.
And so my thing is help the small businesses out. I really would like to help, Black owned businesses more so than anybody else. But I don't see race, I don't see color, but I just believe that if we can stop being, so frugal, shall we say, I think that we can, if we all work together, we can find a way to make it work, So, I mean, the price is the price for a reason. You got to think, you shoot video, that's stuff that it's priceless. You can't get it back. It's like if you get married, you can't recreate that moment. So if that photographer or that videographer messes up, that moment, you're mad and you don't even want your money back. You want to sue them because you can't recreate that moment, So when it comes to creating content for small businesses, when people tell you this is the price for shooting video, this is something that's going to be with your product or with your brand for the rest of your life. So don't knock whatever the price may be. They're trying to do you a solid, but they have to eat too. That camera is not cheap. That time to, for their creativity, because that's their talent. So I think for me, helping small businesses, I think the live streaming space and something with technology. I don't know what it is with tech, but something with tech is definitely in the near future for me.
Thank you so much, Tallboy. And listen, where can people find you if
I
they
am
want?
Tallboy. I
Huh?
am Tallboy. Just Google I am Tallboy. I mean, my phone number, my contact information. If you just Google it, I'm an open book. I don't have nothing blocked. I'm not gonna put nothing on the internet that I don't want you to see.
There you
So
go.
if it ain't on, if I don't put it on the internet, then it ain't none of your business. So I mean, it is what it is.
That's right. That's right. And for those that may need an additional, do you have any closing remarks or Bible scriptures or any quotes that you live by that you can share with the people?
My quote: if you ever watch any of my videos at the end, and I got to thank my cousin Andre Watson if he ever watches this video. We were sitting on the couch, and I was telling him I need a slogan for Tallboy, and he was like, "Man, think big, think tall, think tall boy." And I was like, "Huh? Man, that sound whack." This is what I'm saying to him. And he said, nah, man, think big, believe in God. Think tall, the sky's the limit. Think tall, boy, because he said so and he's doing it. And when I say I live by that on a daily basis, it's like, if you're not believing in God, then why are you doing it? You're not thinking tall, the sky is the limit, right? And think tall, boy, because if he ever said he was going to do it, he said so and he's doing it. I'm like, yo, that's what it is. So that's really what the slogan at the end of all of my videos mean. And that lets me know. And like I said, he's the one that came up with that. So I got to give him nothing but the utmost respect and love for coming up with that slogan. And network, relationships. Me and Aniya have been knowing each other for years. And, the moment she called, I was telling her, that this was something that I didn't think I was ready to do. I didn't have nothing to say. I didn't have no story to tell. But if I inspired somebody today, if you wake up tomorrow saying, you know what, let me go back into my wheelhouse or let me go back in my bag and pull out my dream, you got to thank Aniya for calling me because I didn't see what value I could bring to somebody. So I definitely thank you and your platform for allowing me to come on and, tell the backstory of how it all went down. So it's an exclusive.
Oh my God, I almost got emotional, Tallboy.
Oh,
And
God.
let me tell you why. We've known each other for years, like you said, and I've always considered you somebody that really goes after everything that you want. And when you started off, the last time we had a conversation, and you were like, I don't have nothing to motivate nobody. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Your whole story. And that just made me feel good to know that I listened to my gut, to my intuition. And I said, Tallboy is my Motivational Monday story because of your life's journey, and you have never given up. So, my prayer for you and my desire for you is no matter what, these doors continue to open up and you keep going through them and you never look back because you never have to begin with. But I just want to see bigger and better and taller for you. You see how I did that?
Look, see how she threw in the taller? Like I see the taller in you.
Taller.
So and I'll say this and maybe I'm over speaking, but if you have a dream, I'm gonna tell you, please do it. And I say this real briefly. I had an idea that popped up in my head 2 weeks ago, and I was talking to a family member, and I said, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I think we should try and do a Zoom call with my father, my aunt, and my two uncles." And he was like, "Well, that's what the family reunion, or excuse me, the Labor Day weekends were for the town that my parent, that my dad grew up in." And I said, "But I don't know the story for I don't know the story, and the kids don't know the story, and the kids' don't know the story, but they're really the matriarchs. The patriarchs and the one matriarch of the family." And he. I take this person's advice very seriously, and I just kind of deaded the idea. And then I got a phone call last Monday saying that my uncle, the oldest brother, caught COVID, and they think that he might not make it, and they said that they're going to send him home. He pretty much was in hospice, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, this was my idea. I could have had him in a good moment, laughing and joking. And now, as we are praying and hoping that he pulls through, I'm hoping and that maybe I can have that one moment again where I can have all four of them together. But it was a dream or an idea, and I kind of put it on the back burner. This is all within the last week. And
Mm.
so I'm telling whoever's watching this today, if you got that dream, think it, believe it. So like she said, it was in her gut to call because you just never know. You're not promised tomorrow. So just do it. If you don't know how to do it, ask somebody, surround yourself around people that's doing it.
Call me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you straight up, and then I'll refer you back to Tallboy if you need some reinforcement.
So please, if you have a dream, if you have something that you want to do, go, tag Aniya and say, Aniya, because of this is why I did it, So, I just had to share that because that's something that's been eating me inside because that was an idea that I had. And there's a possibility that, I may not get all four of them together. And can you just imagine passing that down in the family? where all of the kids can have that as a lifelong memory of. And my uncle's in his 80s, so he's lived life. He's seen it when there was no TV. He used to pick cotton to where the black and white, the color, and now we're doing live streaming. He's seen it all. And, I would love to document that story. So that's my dream, for others, with the video production and stuff like that. But, like I said, I kind of put it on the back burner. And what if I would have just went with it? So go for it.
You know what? You re-inspired me. This is the second time. I'm not gonna front. I have the same vision and dream. I have one relative that I would love to do that with. He's in Haiti. I don't know if you know, I'm Haitian American, and
I know.
yeah.
Make him your Monday motivation for next week.
He won't do it because he's pretty high up in government. But I want to go either to him because he's getting older himself, or have somebody wherever he is, because he's the last living piece of my family lineage that I know nothing really about. You re-encouraged me. I'm going to call on WhatsApp in just about 5 minutes when we get off this thing. And you know what? You go and meet with your uncle and the family. And even if, and here's another thought, even if you have to just do him alone, when you can grab him and then do something with the rest of them, you're techie. You know how to put a video together where it looks like they all in that damn room at the same time. So I am encouraging you to go for that dream. It may sound silly to others, but you know why you want to do it, and you've never failed yourself. So you've re-encouraged me tonight. And for everybody that's been watching, I know you have been encouraged. And I'm holding back my tears because, no, I'm not going to hold them back. I've known this brother for a number of years, and I don't do solid relationships for long, but you are one of the solid ones that I'm happy that we've stuck it through. And I've watched you go after what you want, Tallboy, through the ups and the downs, through the thick and the thin. You are still doing it. So I commend you. I'm proud of you. And I can't wait to see what the next 5 to 10 years are like for the Tallboy experience. And I'll be right there whenever you need me with that camera. I'll be right there.
Well, I thank you for even considering me for Black History Month, the first Monday of your motivational Mondays for February 2020. Like when I was listening to you read the bio, it's like when we do our Black history.
Yeah.
And we look up our heroes and we look at the people that, and it's like we only know of the people that they publicize, but look at all the unsung heroes that have opened up doors. Yes, we know, and nothing against the heroes like the Hank Aaron's and the Andrew Youngs, but some people don't even know who C.T. Vivians are. They don't know who the Lonnie Johnsons are. They don't know who some of these people are. They just don't know they don't know who Azanona Clayton is. So it's kind of like have to, be thankful, and the fact that you even considered me, like I respect that up to the fullest.
Power to the people. John Cunningham, who's also a lifetime National Action Network member, just came on and said, inspiring, one love. John, I love you right back. He's located now in another part of this country, and he comes to NAN when he can. But I miss you, John Cunningham. He's one of our leaders in the movement as well. Thank you for joining and tuning in tonight. Tallboy, it's been a pleasure. Go and interview your uncle and the rest of the family. Send that clip to me, and I will gladly post it on all of my platforms as I continue, to support you and everything that you do. Cool?
Thanks.
All right, later.
It's the Aniya A show.
Yeah! We were talking.
Did you like the video that I did?
Listen, I loved it. You already know I did. I reposted it on all the platforms, and people watched because they saw that.
Aniya was mad as God knows what with me yesterday when I know she about to end this show, and she was mad, and I was like, just trust me.
It's the name. I got to change it.
She was mad.
I wasn't mad.
It's Aniya A. That's all you need to know. I'm like, Aniya, I need to do this the right way. Just trust me. No, Tallboy, this is. And then at the end, she just, Antoine, click. And I'm like, thank you. And I just did it. So go to her Instagram page. If you're watching on Facebook, you'll see what I did. But she was being definitely, you know, she was giving me a hard time. But I'm glad that you loved
I
it.
dropped it for a reason, but Facebook doesn't let me forget it. You already know the beat. Later, sir. We're going to talk later. Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, you were tuning in to the Aniya A show with the one and only Mr. Man himself, Mr. Tall Boy, who literally is the Tall Boy experience. And we're saying goodnight to him, and we're saying goodnight to all of you. Listen, you could play back this video, this interview for more inspiration. You could play back part 1 and part 2. Know that I wasn't really him. I just didn't want my whole business in these streets with that last name of mine. As you all know, I dropped it for a reason, but God is faithful because we got it together, and we're happy that we did, because this event this evening was really a dream come true. When you have a friend in your life, when you have a mentor, when you have somebody that you can say, you know, at any moment, what's up, what's going on, you good, you Gucci, that's what it's all about, right? And giving back and sharing love, because it's the Brooklyn way. And he re-inspired me to do something that I've been thinking about for a long time. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm literally going to get on the phone with Haiti. I hope my peoples in Haiti are awake. Thank God for WhatsApp. And if they're not awake, I'm going to leave a message so that they can get back with me, because it's now or never, do or die. I hope I get some funding to do this video and this interview with somebody that I care deeply about. There's always issues in the Black family, but what does it take to try to resolve those issues? What does it take to be the stronger person and really go after your dreams and your visions when you want to share your story and your legacy? So tonight, I want to thank Mr. Tallboy, aka Corey Sanders, for literally sharing from his heart and giving us the reason to keep going forward. We as a community have to be there for one another, and we must stand strong in the midst of all the darkness, because we are the light. And on this Black History Month, first day of February 1st, I want to say I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of my friend, Mr. Corey Tallboy Sanders, for never giving up. To some people, it may look foolish when somebody continues to go for their dreams and their hopes while you don't see the end result. But I remember somebody named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, all you have to do is take that first step. All you have to do is take that first step. For those that take those steps and feel like, Aniya A, I'm not going anywhere. It's so hard. Nobody believes in me, Aniya. Like, why can't I accomplish my dreams? Well, the reason is because you're second guessing yourself. Let's start there. But literally, you don't know when that opportunity is going to open up. But if you give up before the end of the race, it's like taking your last breath and dying. How do I know? Because, first of all, that's my quote. And secondly, because I remember giving up multiple times. And then something always says, Aniya A, keep fighting for your dreams and your visions and keep moving forward. Is it hard? Hell yeah. Is it difficult? Of course. But when you're passionate and when you know what you want, nothing is impossible. And I want to leave you guys with that thought there. Nothing is impossible. Last but not least, it's our time. So go out there, be great, make moves, shake the universe, and definitely leave a legacy. You don't know how great you are until you try, right? Thank you for tuning in to the Aniya A show. You are tuned in to my big homie, the mentor, Corey Tallboy Sanders. We'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.
We just want a piece of the pie. So we pack our bags and run. Said we pack our bags and run. Trying to walk on the wire. Cause there's nothing we cannot overcome. Nothing we cannot overcome. They don't realize. They don't realize. We're gonna take our turn. gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. They'll see with their own eyes. It will come as no surprise. We'll climb the rock most high. It's time for new chapters to fill the pages of love, life, and laughter. I pack my bag, look ahead into the light, and I'm ready to claim my dreams, and I'm ready to take the flight. And I'll admit it, in my heart I feel a little fear. I'm racing towards my destiny. I gotta keep my conscience clear. The blue sky's got a star I should be standing on. It's my turn, and I'm ready to take the world on. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Rule the world. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. It's our time. Our time to fly. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. 'Cause it's our time. Our time to fly.
It's our time to fly. It's our time to change. We don't need a reason why. Let's make a change. They can't pass us through. No, no, no. Nothing we know.
We're off to rule the world. We're off to
We gon' rule the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Good night, guys.